Obedience unlocks understanding. Let's talk about it next on the Giving a Purpose podcast. Welcome to the Giving a Purpose podcast, where we bridge the highs, the lows, the lessons learned through life's journey, and filling in the gap. You already know what it is. New week. Man, thank you guys for watching. Listen, but I need you to do something very important. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell, click all that. And also make sure you share all this stuff with people. If you think this is good content, this is good, make sure you share it with somebody. Listen, I want to talk to you guys about how obedience unlocks your understanding, right? Obedience isn't the result of understanding, it's the pathway to it, right? You don't get clarity, then move. You move and clarity meets you there, right? We've been so conditioned, right? We've been conditioned backwards. Society teaches us to make sure it makes sense first. Like we always say it, a big saying we always say, make it make sense. But society teaches us that, right? But faith teaches move when God says move, right? If everything made sense, it wouldn't require your faith, right? So that's why we can't wait till everything aligns up. We can't wait till everything in what we say culturally make it make sense with faith, right? Because if you had all of that and if it made sense, you wouldn't need faith. Listen, some of us overthink what God already told us to do. All right. Have you ever been in that place where you are overthinking the little things or the little nuggets that God has given you? Because sometimes He doesn't give us the whole script. And sometimes we overthink because we don't have the details. All right, we have to understand that understanding is the reward, not a prerequisite. Let me say that again. Understanding is the reward, not a prerequisite. We're not owed the full blueprint, right? God gives instructions, not explanations, right? Obedience is step one, and understanding actually is step 5, or the last step, right? If we unlock Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, right? It says, trust in the Lord and lean not into your own understanding. Stop trying to outthink what you're supposed to outwalk. Let me say that again. Stop trying to outthink what you're supposed to outwalk. All right? Delayed obedience is disguised disobedience. Think about that. Delayed obedience is disguised as disobedience, right? I'm just waiting for the right time. How many of us are guilty? Listen, I'm raising my hand. Definitely guilty. Just waiting for the right time, right? When we say that, that's basically fear dressed up, right? Also, hesitation kills momentum and confidence. It kind of reminds me of the other day. I was playing a baseball game, and this was actually the first time I struck out. Now, usually when I play baseball, I'm very aggressive first pitch because I'm looking fastball. And played the game the other day. I was up to bat, and I was looking fastball. It didn't look right, and so I kind of hesitated with it. And then my swing, all my mechanics went out the window. Like I wasn't confident. It just looked crazy. Like if I had the film of it, it just looked crazy. But my hesitation and not following through with either going with fastball first and waiting on that, instead of just going through with my regular process, I hesitated because I started to think. And the worst thing I could do playing baseball is thinking. See ball, hit ball, you already know what your mechanics, you know what you're supposed to do. All right. And And that will also kill your confidence, because that's how I end up striking out, because then you become unsure, right? And then sometimes the longer we wait, the longer doubt gets in. Have you ever done that before? Like, I'm gonna wait on, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And then the procrastination then allows for you to say, maybe it ain't meant. Maybe it's not time. Maybe God didn't tell me to do that, right? That's when doubt starts to creep in, and then we're all messed up, right? We don't need more confirmation. We just need more courage. We need more confidence. And guess what? That momentum in you doing what you were supposed to do, doing those little steps, will build your confidence to get you to the next level, right? Confidence doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. All right. The more you do something, the more repetition, the more times you repeat something, the greater your confidence gets. So when you do it, you're not thinking. It's just like everyday thing, right? Every step you take proves to yourself, I can trust God and I can trust me. See how powerful that is, right? If we take those little steps, we understand that we can trust God and I can trust me, because greater he that is in me than he that is in the world. So if I'm trusting God, I'm also trusting the God inside of me, which is also trusting myself, right? Listen, self-investment, right? Because that's my whole thing. It's just self-investment. Self-investment starts with self-trust. How many of us really trust ourselves? Like, when you're doing, there's certain things, but when you are faced with obstacles, when you're faced with valleys and you're faced with mountains, do you trust yourself? Do you tell yourself that you can do it? Or do you think about all of the ways that things could not happen or go your way first and let that doubt creeps in? Listen, I'm guilty of it. I still do it to this day, but I'm a work in progress, and I'm gonna keep working on it, because I have to get into a rhythm of telling myself there's nothing that I can't do. If I put my mind to it, I can do it, right? I can do all things through God that strengthens me, right? God reveals in motion, not in stillness, right? If we think about it, when Moses was taking the people across the Red Sea, right? It didn't split until they started moving. It didn't split first, right? Things had to happen before it started to spread away, right? The path will always show up when you walk in it. When you walk in it. Think about that. The path will always show up when you walk in it, because the miracle isn't ahead of obedience, it's attached to it, right? Obedience always stretches our identity, right? You're not just doing something, you're becoming someone. Every act of obedience upgrades your discipline, mindset, and character, right? So I want to challenge you guys today. Who would you be if you actually did everything you felt called to do? All right, leave that in the comments. Let me know what you think, right? Here's the call again. Who would you be if you actually did everything you felt you were called to do? All right, leave those in the comments. Let me know. Sometimes we don't need clarity. Sometimes we're looking for a sign. Sometimes the clarity will show up when we commit to it, right? We don't need clarity all the time. We just need the commitment. And that commitment then starts the little steps, will then start the discipline for you to actually do it. Clarity is comforting. And we know blessings, we know getting up to the next level comes when we get out our comfort zone. But understanding that having the commitment is transformational. Most people, let me talk to myself. Mr. LA wants guarantees, right? And sometimes what stops me is I'm afraid to take that risk. So most people want guarantees, but growth requires risk. And how many of us are scared to take that risk sometimes? Because we don't know the outcome. So we're afraid to take that risk. God isn't asking us to understand the whole staircase. Just take the next step, right? Let me also ask you this. What's one thing you know you're supposed to do, but you've been waiting to understand it first? Don't worry, I'll wait. But let me know in the comments, right? What would your life look like if you moved on it this week? Just think about that. What would your life look like if you acted on what you've been waiting for this week? Right? I want to see if you guys can understand that. Do that for me. Drop it in the comments and let me know. Listen, I hope this message gave you the courage to take the step. I hope this message gave you clarity by looking at it and understanding that to elevate myself, I'm going to have to take the next step. I'm going to have to take a risk, right? So do that. Let me know how it goes. Listen, I need you guys to do the 2 most important things I ask you to do every week. Is that to make sure that you live on purpose and live in purpose. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.